All right, it's good to be back. So now we are really starting the more advanced topics in numerical solution for partial differential equations. It is also about time to start your custom project. So we started this last year and worked pretty well, especially for people who are interested in exploring your own ideas in like how to use what you learned over here. So basically, it's the topic is pretty free. Anything that relates to what we taught in this subject is fine. Okay, and so the format of the project is you have to submit 3 things. So the first thing you have to submit is a proposal. So the proposal, I think, is the first thing that you and is on the calendar. So in the proposal, you have to describe basically 3 items. The first item is basically what are you working on and why is it worth your time, right? So basically why the topic is worth your time, right? Because I mean, you'll be working on the project for many hours, I would guess, and you want to make sure it is actually worth your time. And B is basically what approach would you like to use? You may want to try finite difference or finite volume or finite element. And usually I discourage people who are saying I want to try all the methods we learned and compare, because usually you won't have that much time actually implementing like all the methods, finite difference, finite volume, finite element, and boundary element methods, and compare. So focus on one is a good idea. The maximum, maybe you can try 2 of them, but like pick one method to use as your primary approach. What approach to use? And C is what will you report? In one is a midterm and 2 final. So what results do you expect to obtain, right? So basically you have to also submit a midterm report and a final report. So the midterm report is not really supposed to be graded. It is basically a checkpoint for us to see, okay, are you actually getting the progress you intended to? And if not, should we revise what we are going to be doing for the project, right? So the midterm report is basically half a page. And for me to have a sense where you are going, are you getting what you expect to get? And should we revise any goals? And the final report, as long as the very short presentation you're going to give in the last lecture is what we are going to be grading you upon. All right. Okay, is that clear? So the last day of the lecture is the presentation day. So you give a very short presentation, usually something like 5 minutes, and along with submitting your final report. All right. Yes?
If you can't come up with a topic, do you have like a list of sample topics?
If you can't come up with a topic, I'd suggest you schedule a meeting with me. We can discuss. All right. And so the proposal is also not supposed to bind you onto the topic. So basically, if after submitting the proposal you find out either for technical reasons or for change of interest you want to do something else, come and discuss with me. Okay. Any other questions on the project? No? Yes?
When's the proposal?
Can you pull up the calendar?
Yeah, so according to the calendar, it's due next Monday.
Okay. Yeah, so it's basically write the proposal over Thanksgiving. So the project is the project 3 is due this Wednesday, right?
Yeah, the project 4 is due Wednesday.
Oh, project 4, yeah, it's due on Wednesday.
Proposal is due Monday.
Okay, all right. And it's also end of Monday, right?
And, I think it's still the usual 9:30.
30. Okay, we can make it end of Monday just to give people more time to think and discuss. All right. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yes.
Then you said good working groups or we can't?
If you want to work in groups, please talk to me first. All right. So if you work on just by yourself, you don't have to talk to me. All right. Any other questions? Oh, okay. So yeah.
What, do you have like I have no sense of what the scope of the project is. Do you have like a suggestion as to how to scope it?
Okay, so how to scope it? So basically, I like to make please make the scope in a sense similar to the previous projects. Yes, and I can give you some samples of the topics proposed by previous, like by last year's people.
That'd be good.
Okay, all right. So I will do that after the lecture. Cool.